Hi lovelies, welcome back to the beautiful wooden tarot walkthrough or review or going in deep. So, the Ace of the Suit of Wands or the Suit of Stones. Let's just dive in. The God of Stones, having the fire element, the antlers and the crystal that is the significator for the suit in the deck. I'm having a little bit struggles for it called stones. It, for me, talks about the earth element more. But when we are getting to the earth element itself, which is bones in this deck, it's actually making sense. Because crystals are made or born with the pressure, the active earth, the volcanoes, the earth actively moving and releasing gases and making huge pressure inside of its core. So the crystals have the heat, the fire in them. Not so much antlers, but antlers are used for like staves, or the wands. You can make fire with wands. You can use them to aid as a walking stick or build something, but you can also use them for protecting yourself. So the antlers, the making of the fire, and using both of them for building something else or other things, or moving obstacles or whatever, is actually the power of antlers and the crystals as well. So it actually, in the earth plane, without using human made things, it makes sense. But in this light, it would have been great when the suit of swords or the suit of plumes in this deck would have been without arrows, which are human made as well. So the whole concept would make more sense. But the fire element, and as with all the eyes in the gods, the starting to see the things coming into light or into the visible world, creating as the aces are, is actually all shown on the gods as well. He has fire on the shoulders, again strongly shown that this is not a human but the god without actual body. The robe, but no hand. Well, you know what those are. The hands are floating in the air. So and again the suit element floating between the hands, the moving with your powers and making things happen, is shown on the cards of the gods or the aces. Now for the two of wands or two of stones. As I said, Previously, all the twos have the infinity sign in them, showing the infinite choices. We have the power of twos, that the choices never end, and all that. So this card for me always has meant your own world, the having your observing your what you have created, what you have done, and taking pride from what you have, yet maybe comparing, or the needing to compare it to something you don't yet have, or needing to explore more, go out of your castle and seek knowledge from somewhere else, so it can profit your land or your world. So in here I can't see it at all. The ram's horn, I think they are ram's horn, are like telling about the strength maybe in your whatever you are having, but the added little crystal shows that there's like this is an idea between your horns or in your head, but there's something added to it, and now you have to like try to incorporate this to your already what you have, or the need to pick up one more piece to add to this. Or is it vice versa, that a piece of this crystal has fallen off, and like since this thing is floating in the air, I want to say, or even if it's like flat on the if it's flat on the surface, then it's something that is not yet within but needs to be added, something new information, new things that have occurred. But if it's floating, then I see it as a falling part, that something has been like maybe lost from what you have. So maybe it's a shadow side of this card. Next is the Three of Stones or Three of Wands. The looking for a new venture, or before starting a new venture, and looking at the horizon again here is not so visible for me. The two antlers are crossed, which for me shows the obstacle somewhat, and this one is like grown in between the two antlers. This is like not natural, because it has no end or no peak. This for me is like the foreign object in there that doesn't actually belong, but has been altered to match this. So it's not Rider-Waite for me at all, not a new venture. Maybe it's something that has been tried to adjust into this situation, but it's not natural. It's something that hasn't been just growing like this. This is something new. This is something that has been added. Well, you can see the new one, something coming and added, but this looks more like the forced part added. You have to alter this extra piece to match this and remove the peak and remove the base of the antler for it to be in there. So it's like more of a, not Rider-Waite 3, but the 3 itself. It doesn't speak 2 becomes 1. It shows the harmony that is created by adding something which has been altered, if that makes sense. That you just can't, it doesn't come easy. You have to alter something in order for it to be in harmony or working like you want it to be, or something like that. So for the stones in here, they are just like the crystal grid added to maybe enhance the power of this movement or this creation. So not so much Rider-Waite. This pretty much is the 4 of Wands, 4 of Stones in here, the celebration, the making things beautiful, the formation of I don't know how that's called, the, not the altar, but the wrath gate, I want to say. So in really blunt way, it's like makes sense a lot. You can draw the parallel between the images, but being the horns looks like sawed off or again altered, this shows about creating something from something that is not meant to be this. This sounded really messy thought, but as antlers are not meant to be, there is no one attached to it. They are just standing antlers without, for me, they probably not are growing like this. There has to be something here so they can be attached to the skull. So they are like removed antlers and used as the gate of celebration. So something has been taken to create something else. I hope that makes sense. This is fairly simple. The locked wands, and here the locked horns or antlers. This is the way the male deer or whoever wears antlers are establishing the pecking order, so to speak, the alphas, and they are fighting and locking the antlers, like in here, to establish who is going to be the leader or the stronger, and who has to be standing on the background at all times. And pretty much the actually, like here, it's at the end game it's pretty much useless action or activity, and for them this is like, for the animals it's actually, from our point of view, this is like useless. Why you do it? Because they hurt each other with the locked antlers, with the antlers, sorry, and the way that the males, young males, are fighting, and they can stay locked and die from it. So it's pretty much, at least from our point of view, it's as useless as this activity here. But for them it's a way of survival, a way of life, and therefore it's not making sense in this way. Again, we just have to look at this as humans, not from the point of view of the animals, which is a little bit mixed signals, because many of the things on this deck are shown from the point of view of the animal behavior and their actual characteristics, especially on the chords and the majors. But here this is like not complete, I want to say, or the flow is not so flowy throughout the deck, at least for me. But well, in the blunt way, again, this makes sense. The mangled and locked antlers that are obstructing and not making any sense actually, and not allowing you to be move forward, because you are just in the middle of doing something that is not important, and you're stuck in there, maybe from being too heated, or you know, too aggressive or something. Okay, the winner. I can see the headdress or the crown of the winner, so to speak, and the extra like the empowerment on top of this. So the winning, the celebrating of the winning, the being the king of the world of this moment, and standing out. This is how I see this one. So is this antler or horn? I'm not sure. Looks like antler still. Well, the standing out, the being different. As you can see, for me this card is being different from, and having to be more maybe protective, or standing out for yourself more because of being different. So you can see that here, standing out from the crowd, so to speak. But also the ability to adjust into this, because this is looks like not being separate from the cluster, but actually grown into this. So imagine a horn laying around somewhere, and then the crystal cluster forming around it, making it one of the part of it, or so to speak. So something beautiful coming out of two different aspects of life, of creation, and so on. Not too much to say about this. the same movement, the same angle. 8 of Wands or 8 of Stones. The interesting is this, that where the staves for me are moving this way, the crystals for me are moving upwards, and this is like the base is white, and like the red peaks are like, let's say, overheated or red from the quick movement. And this is like just something I imagine, and it's like aesthetically beautiful. They are not all red, but the tips or the points are more red and the bases are more white, so giving the movement, the fire, or the heat. Now for the 9 of Stones or 9 of Wands. This card for me is the being protective over past experiences and unable maybe to move forward because of that. So being in the I got hurt, and I am now just maybe waiting for something similar to happen, and this is like the being on guard of something bad happening, you know what I mean? The wheel, when you are up there on the Wheel of Fortune and not enjoying it because you are thinking that one day or one moment it will be moving down again, and the ups and downs, and being afraid of what's coming and being paralyzed because of it. And this is the card. Here I can see the antler has grown extra points, but they are from the crystals, making the antler heavier to handle for the animal, but also adding this extra value to it. So this is like the lesson learned here is not learned yet. The extra baggage is actually adding to the experience, and the antler is now more effective with these stones in it, I want to say, because they might be heavier, they might be not natural anymore like the antler, but the added crystals add the toughness, and the damage that can be done with these is much higher, and you can, and it is also aesthetic, it's beautiful. I can't see any like the wounds here, but I can imagine these are growing out from the wounds, if the antler can be like wounded. Also, antler having so many peaks, meaning this owner of this antler is not young. It has seen stuff, experienced stuff. They get one peak or the thing with years, and it shows that this is not a young animal's horn or the antler, and all the added experiences and wounds have been healed into something that is not only useful but also beautiful. The scars that add to the charm of this So this is like the situation has been already left behind and made something useful out of this, and it might be a little bit burdensome, but it's not going to, if you're not letting it to drag your head down, so to speak, then you added heaviness to your head or to your antlers. And this is the card I cannot relate to as a 10 of Wands, Rider-Waite, because this is a beautiful, powerful crystal cluster, and this speaks millions of years of development, or these things just don't happen overnight, and this is something that has taken time to come to life. And this is not only one point, this has multiple points. It is pointing everywhere, so in the light it beautifully shows the colors and catches the light from every angle. So this not, I know that high pressure is the thing that creates those crystals, so the pressure and but I can't see the burden in here. I can't see the responsibility or following through. I can see the joy, I can see the already fulfilled, as if this guy has reached the destination with these swans without giving up the years, or the road has been taken already, and it is now completed. I can't see this one as negative card or negative-ish card as this card is. This one is pure joy and beauty of creation. The coming, I don't know. Yeah, this is like beautiful end game, or ready, like the things that have happened, the all things needed came together to create this, and this is ready now for us to use or to admire. So yeah, this is not Rider-Waite for me, and this card was the one that I struggled with, just trying to fit this into the system. So, the Page of Stones. Not sure who this animal is, but again with pages, the cross. Although here the crystals have like intervened with each other, creating a beautiful, interesting cluster, I want to say, but no flames. You can see only smoke, which is really interesting for me, because smoke is without flames either the fire that has been, that is not burning anymore, or not burning in a right way. So this is really interesting, the smoke usage on the quartz. But For me, this, I'm not sure which species it is. Again, looks like a deer, but it's not. The antlers, it looks really, really young. So the antlers are not growing yet, maybe. And all he has is the fake antlers, or the not real ones yet. So I want to say the ideas he has are not fully developed. And again, the cross in the page card with which the air suit has had always also tells me that there are obstacles. This is not like something that can move freely. It's limited somehow. So again, like I said, chords are not making sense to me at all with this, trying to fit this into the Rider-Waite system. White horse, again, the horn is, if it's horse, then unicorn, wanna be unicorn, vanity, I wanna say, which I saw a little bit in the page as well, the vanity trying to be with the antlers when you yet don't have any. So here's a V shape and the fire in between. So this is not a cross, this is like the opening and fire coming out of the this is more open, not restricted some anyway, and the horse is like not behind it but growing out of this. This is interesting, a little bit makes more sense with the fiery go-getter, but still, yeah, the chords are a little bit throw off for me. So here the queen, the moon showing the mystical side of the Queen of Wands, that is shown in the Rider-Waite with a black cat. Otherwise, the stones or the crystals are growing out of her body, and no antlers, apparently female, not trying to grow, some as well. So yeah, I'm really having a hard time placing the chords into any system. Actually, they are like a story of their own, which I haven't yet managed to understand. Maybe is the right way to say it, but yeah, interesting. In here I can see some stones, or how can you stone wall, making some, or coals. I am not sure what are those in here. But having the base of stable thinking, maybe, with these growing out. Yeah, hard time with the chords. So, and the King of Stones or King of Wands is in the movement. Sun, again, like the moon and the sun being the female and the male aspect on the chords in this deck. So the, it's not ram, is the what is this? the Aries or the Capricorn, maybe. Making a jump, and again in here these extra crystals on the antlers or the horns tell the same story for me as it was in the Nine of Stones, the experience gained through the lifetime and added not only the weight and beauty, but responsibility that comes with the weight and managing this, holding this in balance while in the move, and using these extra let's say additions that have been created through the life experience and out of the wounds, out of the lessons, is pretty much the King of Wands indeed, the knowledge that this creature has gathered. He has experience that he can share with others and be a great role model. But again, I can see the movement, the fire in here, but some things still are not. Of all the cards, this one makes more sense than others. So thank you for watching. This was the beautiful wooden tarot, and the suit of stones are the wands. Thank you for watching, and bye.